for the bill. I thank you right now, and I'm opening the hearing on House Bill 161.
Thank you, Chairman Howard, and thank you all, members of the committee. My name is Representative Mike Milburn, House District 19 over by Great Falls, Cascade, and I bring to you House Bill 161. I was asked to do this quite a while ago. As we all know, that the medical marijuana initiative passed 60-some%, and followed by several years of not much activity, and then all of a sudden people understood, hey, what can we get away with? And the floodgates opened. I had a lot of calls concerning the issue from our schools, our cities and our towns, our small communities, addiction centers, and what they told me was shocking. I started to attend some meetings, and it was all about what is happening to our society, what is happening to our kids, what is happening to our communities. This no longer is an issue about the medicinal use of marijuana. It is now all about the marijuana itself, is legalizing the drug. And that's where we're at now. As I attended more and more of these meetings, I finally said, you know, what if I was getting a lot more encouragement? Can we repeal the whole initiative? Is it possible? Of course it's possible. Any law is possible to change. You can eliminate it, you can change it. We do it every day. I had more support for this idea as time went on, and especially from the schools that saw the deterioration of the effect of the marijuana and the usage of growing in these schools, of kids and students not showing up, coming up under the influence or showing up under the influence. And so I proceeded in this direction. As we've seen a huge upswing in the use of marijuana in our schools and communities. We've seen a huge upswing in the amount of the medical marijuana with the cards go up. And we can't even keep up with the data. It is going up so fast. So it's no longer an issue of medical marijuana. It's an issue of marijuana. We've opened the floodgate. It's like Hurricane Katrina. We're not talking about the dikes holding back the water anymore. We're talking about how do you rebuild the city, and that's where we're at. And so what I found and what I believe is that the only way that we can get a handle on this is to shut it down. We've got to shut down the industry. The money that is being made in this industry, the drugs that are being sold, is staggering. We have an industry that is out of control. The numbers, 28,000 or whatever, we don't have that many hurt people around. Here in Helena, we have greenhouses full of it. If you've got six plants per person, well, we've got a lot of hurt people here. We've got as many people on using the cards right now as we have here in the city of Helena. So it's a problem. I've been asked, well, why would you go ahead and try to undo something that Montanans wanted? Well, this isn't what they wanted. I don't hear from any person out there that voted for this that wasn't a medical marijuana user or a marijuana user themselves, that voted for this, that thought that this is what they voted for. It's not there. If we could fix it, I'd say fix it, but I think we're past that point. We've got to shut it down. We've got to start over. We've got to reevaluate what is it that we're doing. What is it we're doing to ourselves? What are we doing to our kids? That's what we have to do. We have to take some time. We have to give some breathing room here and look at it again. I'd like to throw up a chart there just to show where we're at on this. If you just put that, stick one up, that's okay. I'll tell you if it's wrong. There's the cards, and those are months that we're looking at there. Those lines right there at the bottom are months. Those aren't years. Those are months. That's what we're seeing. That blue line right there. That's what we're seeing for the cards that are issued. So a huge upswing in just the last few months. Did you know we're now the number 2? We're number 2 in the nation for teen use in marijuana. A year ago we were number 10. We're number 2 now. This is serious. We're at the high end of the average of the United States. This is Montana. I mean, we've changed our culture of Montana in just several months. Where we used to be the rough and tough cowboys, right? The frontiermen, the loggers and the miners and the ranchers and farmers, the hard workers, ones that were proud of community and family. This is what we're doing. We're changing our identity, and we're doing it in just a few months. Throw up another one just so we can see where we're at, see where we're going. The red line right there is, I don't know, what does it say, pain and suffering, something like that. That's how many people. All the other ones are the glaucoma, the MS, the things like that. It's the pain that they're prescribing these cards for, and that's it right there in the red. Throw up that other one if you could. There's the age group. That light blue one on the right is 50 to 60. That comes from, back 30 years ago. They were in their 20s, and 70s, 60s, and 70s. That's when, there was the big upsurge in marijuana usage. Their children are in the dark blue right there. They're in their 20s. So what you're seeing is that the usage, that they're not the people that are in the age group that should be in the true suffering, the true disease type of age. It's right there in the middle of the pack. That's what's being used. If you look at the left, those are the teenagers, but what's happening is if you go to your schools, I had a mother that contacted me the other day that said that the usage is so common now in schools, they think it's legal. They don't even know. They were shocked to find out that it's even restricted for medicinal purposes, that they're not even getting the cards because there's enough people out there getting the cards and supplying them to students. So that's where we're at on that. The other embarrassing thing is that North Dakota, just had an initiative, and they ran it, and it failed. It failed close to 70%. You know why it failed? It was because I was talking to the assistant director for the State Division of Criminal Investigation, and they used us as a bad example. They had radio and TV ads that said, "Do you want to look like Montana? Do you want to be like Montana? Do you want the mess that Montana is in?" It failed because they used us as a bad example. Let's look at the use. Let's look at the validity, I guess, with marijuana as having medicinal uses. First of all, the Department of Justice Drug Enforcement Administration said that drug abuse and this nation's response to it is one of the most important and potentially dangerous issues facing American citizens, and especially its youth today. The United States Drug Enforcement Administration, under the U.S. Department of Justice, takes a firm stand, and I quote, "Smoked marijuana is not medicine, and it's not safe." Marijuana has been classified as Schedule I drug, and the possession, distribution, and manufacture is illegal under federal law. Drugs are classified upon their accepted medicinal uses, the potential for abuse, and their psychological and physical effects on the body. Schedule I drugs are categorized as such because of their high potential for abuse, lack of any accepted medical use, and absence of any accepted safety for use in medically supervised treatment. The DEA was challenged to change marijuana from Schedule I drug so they could regulate it and distribute it. The DEA Health and Human Services Department performed a rigorous testing and found marijuana to be highly addictive, with no medicinal value, and refused to delist it. The U.S. Supreme Court upheld that. The FDA has not approved smoked marijuana for any condition or disease. The FDA noted that there is currently sound evidence that smoked marijuana is harmful, and that there's no sound scientific studies supporting the medical use of marijuana for treatment in the United States. So there's no sound scientific studies that support it. Marijuana does also not meet any of the standards of modern medicine for quality, safety, and it does not fall under any of the doctor's management procedures and practices: the dose, the risk, the side effects, the drug interactions, the indications, and contradictions. Same holds true for the pharmacists. So you're going to hear today from those proponents for medical marijuana about glaucoma, multiple sclerosis, cancer, a number of diseases and conditions. But the following voices in the medical community do not accept smoked marijuana as medicine, and this includes the American Medical Association, the American Cancer Society, the American Academic of Pediatrics, the American Glaucoma Society, the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, the Institute of Medicine, than the British Medical Association. The American Society of Addiction Medicine clearly rejects smoking as a means of drug delivery and recommends that all cannabis and cannabis-based products and cannabis delivery devices should be subject to the same standards applicable to all other prescription medication and medical devices. So they all say that smoked marijuana is harmful. They also say that Marinol in a pill form you can prescribe. There's also from the addiction centers from locally and nationally where more teens are entering treatment with primary diagnosis of marijuana dependency than for all other illicit drugs combined. We talk about overseas. Well, let's form our model of marijuana overseas. Let's look at Europe. The DEA reports that many European countries are rethinking their liberal marijuana policies in the face of evidence that cannabis use has significantly mental and physical consequences and may lead to higher crime rates, increased social costs, and degradation of the quality of life. Australia says the new anti-cannabis laws, they've got so liberal in it, they have really restricted the use now. It says will mark the start of the fight to turn around 8 years of a soft drug approach, which has left lives ruined. In Holland, the same type of thing. It says that the place that cannabis takes in their lives becomes so dominant that they don't have space for other important things in life. They crawl out of bed in the morning, grab a joint, don't work, smoke another joint. They don't know what to do with their lives. And we're talking their medical marijuana problems. Same thing in Switzerland. Do we have that? And we were getting the same thing here. We're getting that same reputation here. Nationwide, we're getting the reputation this is a place to come and buy your marijuana. In California, there was the chief of police over by San Francisco that said whenever you're dealing with drugs and money, there's going to be crime. People think if you decriminalize it, the Mexican cartels and Asian gangs are going to go away. That's not the world we live in. So it's a problem. We have a problem. We have a social problem. We're dealing now with the consequences of this initiative. We're not dealing with the initial intent of the initiative. We are now dealing with the consequences of the initiative. And I think that's what we have to keep in mind now. I believe, and I strongly believe, we need to shut the industry down. We need to take another look at it. We need to start over, and we need to do it in a calculated and reasonable fashion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.